guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this vlog, Nacho, our new guinea pig, is going to get neutered. Yes, he's going to lose his testicles so he can live happily with the girls here behind me in the big cage. Now this is a new experience for me as a long-term guinea pig owner, so I wanted to document it start to finish and hopefully help you if you're thinking about getting your own male guinea pig neutered either now or at some point in the future. So we're going to cover my research, choosing a vet because that is so important, the operation itself, you're going to see what he's like afterwards and the aftercare involved as well. And at the moment we are in that research stage where I am reading up as much as I possibly can all about neutering and getting ready to choose the vet that will operate on little Nacho. Now obviously there's a risk with any operation and I want it to go as smoothly as possible, so my first port of call was to ask the rescue where I got Nacho from about neutering. So they neuter all of their male guinea pigs and they must have a high success rate, otherwise they wouldn't do it. And I was really interested to hear them say that they had recently swapped vets to a vet that does the procedure in a specific way, which I will talk more on a bit later on. But first things first, whether you're getting your guinea pig neutered or for any other medical concerns, you ideally need to be going to an exotics vet because normal vets simply don't have the training and qualifications needed to specialize in guinea pigs. So for me, for example, I live in a kind of fairly medium-sized town. I actually have two different vet practices within a couple of minutes drive of me, but there's no way that I'm going to let either of them operate on Nacho simply because they don't have any vets who specialize in guinea pigs. But I have a couple of other options of exotics vets who I've used before and that I know are very experienced. So I've got in touch with them and I'm gonna ask them some key questions like how they do the operation, how often do they do it, what is their success rate like, and whether there's any other information they can give me that might help reassure me that they're the right choice for me. So I'm really hoping they get back to me quickly because I don't want Nacho to be waiting too long for his lovely ladies. Right guys, it's been a busy week, but I have decided the vets that are gonna operate on Nacho, and also he is booked in for his operation. So I've gone with Holly House Exotics Vets who are based in Leeds. I have used them before. If anyone remembers Twiglet's Spay, then that was with Holly House. But since then they have actually opened an exotics specialist clinic, a whole new branch of the practice just for exotics, which is really good. They've got more exotics vets and I was able to choose one of two vets that I wanted to see who specialize in guinea pigs. And so we did have to go for a consultation appointment, which is what I've just got back from today. And at first I was a bit like, is this really needed? I just want to have a quick conversation with the vet to help me decide who I'm going to go with. But they would have needed to check over Nacho anyway, and they kind of said it was my opportunity then in person to ask all of the questions that I wanted to. So in the end, I'm really glad that we had this consultation. The vet was amazing. She is so experienced. She answered all of my questions in so much detail. She really understood my situation and that I was sort of like just wanting the best outcome, and I was thinking carefully about the operation and choosing the right vet. And when I asked her how often she does the operation, she kind of said, well, you're better off asking how often I don't do it because it's so often, it's almost every day. She neuters male guinea pigs for a few rescues. She neuters her own guinea pigs. She actually also performs and advocates for ovarectomy in young female guinea pigs, which is like a modified spay to remove just the ovaries. And this small, simple operation can prevent serious reproductive problems like ovarian cysts developing when they get older. And she also explained the differences between the two types of ways that you can neuter male guinea pigs. And those ways are scrotally, where an incision or two incisions are made on the scrotum and the testes are removed from there where they are. The other technique is called an abdominal technique, and that's where you have a single incision slightly higher up on the body, and because the tissue, fatty tissue, kind of connects down to the testicles, it's possible to pull them out through the abdomen, which I know sounds a bit extreme, but actually the risk of post-operation complications is far lower lower with the abdominal technique. So what can happen with the scrotal one, because the incisions are so far down and close to the ground where all the peeing and pooing happens, and male guinea pigs, let's be honest, tend to be a bit grimy and they like wiping their bums on the floor and that kind of thing. That means that the risk of infections and those infections becoming abscesses is much higher with the scrotal technique. And because the incision is higher up on the abdominal technique, the risk is much lower. So she explained that to me. I had read a bit about it online as well, and also the abdominal technique is the one that the rescue where Nacho came from favours for all their male guinea pigs. And what also solidified my decision is that I heard back from the other vets via email, and they said that they still only do the scrotal technique. So that kind of helped me really decide. I wanted to have the abdominal version of the operation done, so we decided to go with Holly House. And yeah, it is 7 days wait now till his operation, and fingers crossed it all goes well. Hi guys, so today is the day Nacho is going in for his surgery. It is about 6:45 in the morning and we are going to drive to Leeds. We're going to be at the vets for 8:15 to get him checked over and leave him at the surgery for his operation. The plan for me is I'm actually going to stay in Leeds, find a coffee shop somewhere and get some work done, because it is still a work day for me, and then anxiously await the call that everything's been okay and his surgery is fine. And I'll also get to find out whether I can pick him up and bring him home today, which fingers crossed I will be able to. So here he is. You okay, buddy? I know, you've got a big day today, haven't you? So we've got a dry bag with some of his Timothy hay, pellets, a forest stick, and also some pea flakes in there. We also have a wet bag full of lettuce. We've got red pepper in there, and grass and coriander, and I might get him a bit of cucumber as well. But other than that, he is all set to go, so we'll pop him in the box. Such a good boy. You're gonna go in there? Yes, straight in the sack. Did you get a piece? He got a piece. He was like faster than lightning, but he got a piece. So off to the vets we go. Okay, so Nacho has been admitted for the day. I'm quite nervous, but I'm also I have full confidence in the vets. I know she's really experienced. She says she's probably gonna bring it forward a bit. I told her I'm gonna be in Leeds for the day working. Fingers crossed everything is gonna be fine. I'll get a call this morning and yeah, we'll see what they say. So I'm back, and about 2.5 hours ago, sat in Starbucks getting some work done. The vets ring me to let me know that Nacho's procedure had gone really well. He was only under for about 10 minutes and he was just waking up as they were speaking to me. So I was obviously very, very relieved, and they said I could come and pick him up a bit earlier as well. So here we are back at the vets, and I'm gonna go and get my little boy. So here he is. I just literally put him in the car. So I picked him up from the nurse and she told me how everything had gone. It'd gone fine and how he's been recovering since. He's on pain medication and I've got Metacam to give him for the next 5 days. They don't give them any antibiotics because it is a completely sterile procedure and antibiotics can cause complications in themselves. So I've just got to keep an eye on the wound, which is only very small. I will try and show you it later on. He seems quite bright actually. That's good. I wasn't sure how groggy he was going to be, and as you could just see, he was tucking into a little bit of grass. Are you gonna have another bit for me, darling? No, we don't want now, we're being grumpy. It's normal for them to be a little bit groggy. I do have some critical care on hand that I can give him later on if he's not quite eating as much as he should be, but he just ate a bit then, so I'm kind of quite positive, but I think he's going to be fine. So we're going to head home now and get him all settled. I'm going to give him a full cage clean to make sure everything is as clean as possible for him back at home. Till we go home. Good boy. Hi guys, so it is later on this evening now. I didn't show putting him in the cage because basically all he wanted to do was stay in his snuggle sack, bless him. This is really the first time that he's properly come out and has for himself gone and sought out some food. So he is, as you can see, happily munching on some pellets right now. During those 7 hours, I did come and kind of encourage him to eat some hay, which he did. I also cut him some grass out of the garden padden, just, you know, small amounts, about 3 lots of grass, and he did tuck into all of that. So that was very reassuring for me to know that he was happily eating. And now I'm very happy to see him open at it and eating for himself as well. It's a really good sign. And we've also had some poops. So we've had a total of, we've actually had 18 poops in total, which is pretty good. I think that's kind of like normal functioning of his digestive system, really. I did get a kind of generic sheet from the vets which specifies, you know, checking the wound and that sort of thing. This is everything that the nurse ran through with me, although, you know, when you read it you can tell that it's quite generic because it refers to animals with a tail. Guinea pigs don't have tails, but yeah, that's just something that serves as a bit of a reminder. And then, as I might have mentioned, the vets don't actually give them any antibiotics because the procedure is totally sterile. He does, however, get painkiller, which is really important for guinea pigs. It's really important to manage any pain they might have to make sure that they feel well enough to keep eating, because we don't want to run into issues with slowing of the digestive system or bloat, for example. So Metacam is the kind of painkiller of choice for guinea pigs. I believe he's had some other ones with his surgery. She did mention this morning that he had 3 painkillers, so I'm not sure what the other ones were, but Metacam is the only one that I'm giving him after his surgery. And Metacam can be under-prescribed in guinea pigs. It's often sort of scaled down from cat and dog levels, whilst ignoring the fact that guinea pigs can process this medication very quickly, so they actually need more of it in proportion to their body weight. So this is the 1.5 milligram per mil, which is the dog Metacam, and Nacho is getting 0.38 milliliters by mouth twice daily, starting from this evening for 5 days. Try not to disturb him underneath too much. Gonna do a little burrito like this. Oh no, you don't need to struggle. Come here. It's not that bad. Good boy. Good boy. Yes, he's really quite tasty, isn't he? I know. It's a good sign if they're fighting the medicine, honestly it is. It's a good sign. Oh, shush, 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 I know. Let's give you the rest. Good boy. All done. That wasn't too bad, was it? Wow, you're so stroppy. There we go. We can see that. It looks quite neat. I'm gonna pop him back now, let him carry on with his evening undisturbed. He's off, he's not that bothered. He's tucking into some water. Good morning, little Nacho. So this is the morning after his surgery. I've literally just come downstairs. The first thing I've done is come and check on him, and here he is in his little cozy sack where he absolutely loves to be. I know that he was quite active last night. He was out and about. He was eating lots of pellets. There was lots of poops. I want to come out and say hello. So I will be giving him his medicine and also checking his wound. And in case anyone's wondering, I haven't been given any sort of cleaning solution or anything like that for the wound. I think it's anticipated that it should heal fairly well on its own. And because it is higher up on the body, it's at less risk of infections. Oh boy. There you are. that. Yeah, so I'm going to give him his medicine now. I'm going to change that pad in that cozy sack as well because he's probably peed on it. I'm probably going to be doing a wash like every single day for the next week or so, just so that I can change the pads and fleecy bits in his cage, you know, like almost every day, if not twice a day for some of the items. What's this? I know it smells funny. I do recommend you try this with Metacam though, because sometimes they sort of smell it the first time and go, ugh, what's that? And run away. But then if you kind of persistently hold it close to them, most guinea pigs, in my experience anyway, will actually come closer, sniff it a bit more, and then they will actually take it from the syringe without you having to pick them up and do a burrito pig or anything like that. But for this little guy, he's just, I think it's a firm no. I'm gonna have in this. Yeah. The incision looks fine. It does have like a little bumpy bit at the top, but I think that's completely normal, to be honest. I know it's nasty. We didn't get that in focus, did we? Hi again, everyone. So it is Friday and we are now 7 days post-surgery for little Nacho. And here he is, his first time on camera with me. Are you gonna say hello to everyone? Yes, are you gonna just lick my finger? So he's been doing really, really well. I will put some footage of his incision so you can see what it looks like now 7 days post-operation. You'll see that the hair is starting to grow around it now, so it's kind of blending in more and is much less obvious. There was just a little lumpy bit at one end of the incision, and I did ask the vet nurse about that on our post-operative checkup appointment, which was on Monday, and she said it looked completely fine. You know, keep an eye on the incision in general. If things change with it, if it looks red, it feels warm to the touch, if that little lumpy bit gets bigger, then perhaps bring him in again. But she was so pleased with how it was healing, she said that there was no need for another post-operative check. Now, of course, I'm going to keep a close eye on this. It's not unusual for abscesses to form weeks or even months after an operation, so bearing that in mind, I'm going to keep monitoring his incision closely and also weighing him on a weekly basis. Hello, sweetheart. You've been quite vocal, aren't you? Oh, I know. So he's been getting on really great and probably wants to go back in his cage now. Bless him. And it's been really hot in the UK this week as well, which has been a bit of a nightmare. So I've given him another bottom trim. His hair is really short around his bum and his back legs, just to help him stay that little bit more cool. And we've also, of course, been putting things like frozen water bottles and the damp towels in his cage and for the girls upstairs, because it's been a bit of a heat wave, so I hope everyone's piggies have been okay with that this week. But back to the neutering, and I know I haven't talked about costs yet, which is obviously one thing for people to factor in. Now, here in the UK, neutering doesn't seem to be that much of a costly procedure to get done, even at a specialist exotics vet. I wasn't sure what I was going to pay until they actually asked me, to be honest, but it wasn't as much as what I thought it would be. I did pay £55 for the initial consultation, which is perhaps on the steep side when it comes to just consultations, but then the surgery itself, the medicine, the aftercare, the post-op appointments, everything that they did was all included in a single price, and that was, I think, £97.50, so just under £100, which, to be honest, considering everything they've done for him, I think that is quite good value. So that's what you might expect to pay here in the UK. I know in the US you can pay a lot for vet bills, which is something that people might have to take into consideration a bit more. But the biggest thing I've learned from this whole experience is to really do your research, find out about the operation, find out about what vets are available to you. Even if you have to travel a bit further out, you want to do everything you can to make sure that you're getting an exotics vet who is really experienced at the procedure, and that will make the world of difference when it comes to the operation itself and how successful it is, and also the post-op aftercare for you and whether you run into any complications. If you have any experience of neutering or spaying guinea pigs, please pop your experiences down in the comments below. It'll be really useful for people coming along and wanting to learn as much as possible to have a look in the comments and see and read about your own experiences. And also let us know what content you'd like to see in the upcoming weeks before we're able to bond Nacho with the girls. I have some ideas for myself, but it'd be really useful to know what kind of videos you guys would like to see in the coming weeks. And any questions as well, just post them in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed and found this vlog useful, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!